So this is a follow-up to how to have some extra wonderful tips for either speaking on stage in public or doing a presentation and or with sales. So really, if you're doing a presentation, most likely you're trying to convince people of something or ask them to do something for you, whether it's a monetary exchange or some other type of exchange, whether you want them to vote for you or you want them to vote in favor for some cause that you are trying to rally troops around. So it's important to be conscious of how do we present ourselves in public. Now, if you're speaking on stage to 5 people, 5,000 people, 50,000 people, it is the same concept. You need to, A, be very grounded and make sure you're not moving around flailing unless you're a rock star. And be very deliberate about every single step and movement, but you need to be natural. So you could ask someone to shoot you or film you beforehand to see if you're projecting or presenting yourself in the way that you'd like to be seen, and as well your voice quality. It's a good idea. I always try to drink some hot tea before I'm going to be speaking on camera or in front of thousands of people, because you want your voice not to crack. You don't want to have people hearing a voice that doesn't have power. You want to have resonance in your voice. You want to be able to command attention, and that's not only by speaking loudly, but you need to speak with impact. So you need to have that magnetism sort of exuding from you. And so 3 ways that you can do that are through the tonality and the speed and the volume of your speech, of your words. So that's your voice quality. So I would do some exercises, some voice training exercises. You can Google them, 1 or 2 or 3 that I like to do, or you can say the vowels escalating. Breathe and make sure your voice is clear with the hot tea. That's why I always drink 3 or 4 hot teas during the day to make sure my voice is how do you say it? It's just well lubricated. So anyways, after that, I would say then once you're on stage, you need to make sure you're connecting with the people visually. So make sure you make the correct eye contact and the correct level. You don't want to be looking down at people. You want to be looking at the farthest point on the horizon. Now, they say sometimes people get nervous or jittery when they're doing presentations, and it's happened to all of us. Your legs start to shake uncontrollably, your voice is like quivering, or your hands, they're just not doing what you want them to do. So basically, the only way to overcome that is to practice. So don't forget to smile. That would be the 3rd tip, because you want to engage with your audience. Again, if it's 3 people, 5 people, 5,000, 50,000 people, you need to be confident. You need to project your voice, because one of the most annoying things is to have someone and you can't hear them, and then you're distracted by the fact that you can't hear them and you don't understand what they're communicating. So get that straight. And the cameraman did a little signal, so I was remembering. Also, you can imagine when you're practicing voice exercises that you're talking to the back wall. So imagine your voice emanating from your throat or from the middle of your body or from your diaphragm. If you do that, you're going to discover something about your voice and how far it will project. So that's something interesting. Now, going on to the sales technique, even if you're selling something that's free, whether you're trying to convince your child, your friend, your colleague, a group of people, your community, it's a numbers game, right? If there's something that you want, in most sales things, it's probably 1 or 2% that will end up buying, right? You have to reach, out of 100 people, you need to try harder and reach more people, because number 1, you're going to have the pitch better. So then you have more of a chance of selling or convincing whoever it is that you want to convince. So if out of 100 people, 95% say no, and 1 or 2% naturally will say yes because they like you or they want to help you, whatever, then you have that other 8 or 9% that's on the fence. Like they don't want to bother, but maybe they need your product or service, or they kind of believe in your cause. So how do you rally them over to your side? You need to speak confidently, authoritatively, but in a very friendly manner, addressing their concerns. Yes, I understand what you're saying completely, and make sure you have a correct rebuttal immediately. You need to have this planned and strategized ahead of time. Now, I was speaking with a manager earlier, And he told me about a fascinating book. I forgot the name of it. He forgot the name of it. But instead of being disheartened and saddened by the no's, because naturally you're going to get a lot of no's, even if you're persistent, you look for the no's. You look for the no's, so you know amongst the 95 no's or the 92 no's, you know you're going to get 1 or 2 yeses and 5 or 6 maybes. So I had heard that before, but I understood that to a deeper level when he told me that. So it's not just that you know you're going to get the no's, but you have to search for the no's, right? And it's the same whether you're looking for a car, a house, a spouse, a product, a service. You need to just do a numbers game. So understand that it's a very analytical graph, and just be ready for that. And you can't let yourself get frustrated and tired and sad, because you just know that that's the nature of the game in life. It's a numbers game. Okay, well, and lastly, as I said again before, just smile. Smiling is going to keep your own attitude up, and it's going to keep your own psychology and emotions intact. So I leave you with a smile.